Hi guys, Muli Bwanji, Muli Shani, Muli Uli, Muli Buti, and everything else. Welcome back to my channel and Happy New Year.
Happy 2022, guys.
Yeah, we're finally in 2022.
Wow.
And we're so excited. Honestly, we are so excited about
Trust me.
2022.
You just don't know.
We are looking forward to this year, looking forward to all the greatness of this year and all the things we are going to achieve. So today we're going to talk about things we are not going to tolerate in relationships in 2022, right? So we are going to focus on things that you are not going to give up for a relationship,
for indoor
or a woman. No, not only a man. Things you will not give up for a man or a woman.
But we can only
Things
talk
you will not
from
give
a
up for
woman's
relationship.
perspective.
Yes, that's the truth. We can only talk from a woman's perspective, but there's still things which really would go both ways.
And the good part with this is we are both on different sides of the spectrum. I'm single as a Pringle and she's dating. So we're talking about it in both ways. Like me, it's things I will talk about knowing I would never give up because I'm from a relationship. And then she's in a relationship, so she's going to explain to us what she can't give up no matter what. So we have all been in situations where we have been told that don't do that, from as small as your hair to your nails to what you wear, how you talk, what you post. And trust me, if you're watching this, one of you or 7 of you or 10 of you have actually stopped doing certain things because of a spouse.
Yes, or a boyfriend.
So, girl,
like basically their husband.
let's talk about the past, then we'll talk about the future, then we'll talk about now and whatever. What did you sacrifice? Let me actually sit like this. What did you ever sacrifice for a relationship?
You know what? I feel like the one thing that I sacrificed, which I'm not going to use the word regret because I've said this a number of times, I never regret my decisions. But one thing that I wish I hadn't done, or I wish I did a little different, that I sacrificed in a previous relationship, was my entire self. I just gave up on all the things I love to do. I gave up on just my individuality. That's it. It was my individuality that went away. I was with somebody who became my world, who became my life. Even the way I dressed sort of changed because he wanted me to look a certain type of way. I started working out like...
You didn't tell me about dress code.
Dress code, it really was. There was certain, like, you know, he bought me a lot of clothes.
So he was buying you clothes
he wants to see me in.
Oh, like indirectly telling you that
This is what you should wear.
Okay.
Exactly. This was never my style. And I mean, you know, I'm not like the most stylish person ever. Really, I'm really not. I'm a very like sweats and a big t-shirt kind of girl. Like for me, that's my style. But yes, and for him, obviously that bothered him. But he would really buy me clothes that would what he wants me to wear. He wanted my body to look a certain type of way. I started working out like a sheep. Like
She's not
guys,
running.
I was running. Guys.
That's one thing we have in common. We started working out because of men that made us run. Go to gym.
You guys, it was hectic. I just lost the friends. His friends became my friends. I didn't have my own friends, you know. And in that moment, you don't even realize that all this is happening. And also, these are also traits of being with someone who's toxic and narcissistic, you guys. So if you find yourself in this, like if you're watching this and you're feeling like you're relating, check it out. That person might be a narcissist. So here I am thinking, oh my goodness, I'm so happy we've got this life we've got, until it came crumbling down and I realized that I had nobody in my circle. I didn't know who I was. Afterwards, I didn't even know what I like to do, like just hanging out, you know, in your free time, because my free time would be about him. Study time was about him. We would do things together. I would do things he liked to do. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden I've got no life. So that is one thing I did, which absolutely not. Like, I gave up my individualism and I would not recommend to nobody. So bouncing the question right back at you, what is it that you gave up in the past that you either regret or you feel like was a good thing, but what is it that you gave up?
I regret, but it has made me realize what I can't give up. I gave up my personality. I wouldn't be me to the full extent. I had to be like chilled because it's like you're too much. Like you're too much. So I started to feel like I'm too much for the world and I'm too much for everyone. When indeed I'm just too much for him. I had to give up what I post. I couldn't post me doing stuff like working out. I couldn't post me like sharing food, like cooking. Like for an example, right? I had lost weight and then gained it and then started working out again. And then I think I posted me working out and then he goes like, I feel like you shouldn't be posting working out photos or videos. I'm like, why? And do you know what he says? Because you don't post when you're gaining weight. That kills everything in you. I couldn't cut my hair because this person broke up with me for 2 weeks because I cut my hair and I looked like a man. And he said,
that's what he's saying.
And I don't look like a man, honestly.
No, she doesn't.
And he said, I can't date someone who looks like a man. So that just killed my whole vibe on just control. Like, I lost control over certain decisions that I wanted to make. Even clothes I would wear also, he wouldn't buy the clothes, but he would make stupid comments about them. I think I told you about it when he made really stupid comments about my shoes, and it just kills the whole vibe because it's like, why would you say something like that? Like, you're the one who's supposed to be hyping me up. Also just how even YouTube, he wasn't a big fan of like the whole YouTube thing.
Oh really? No, I didn't know that.
He wasn't very about it. Like he wouldn't even watch, and he would just say it's So what you just give up so much of you that at the end of the day, when you sit down and you just realize to say, wow. I even started drinking whiskey because of this guy.
Because he loved whiskey.
He loved whiskey. So if it's we're drinking, then we're drinking what
he's going to drink. Oh my goodness! Wow.
It wasn't a what you're drinking. Or if he wants to eat, what he wants to eat is what we are eating. Yeah, I lost. I wouldn't blame him. Maybe because I was weak, I wouldn't stand up for myself. But I feel like when you're in love, you end up saying, okay, maybe this will make him love me more, or maybe this will make me accepted. So trust me, it was a shit show.
So basically what you're saying is what you are not willing to give up if you were to get into a relationship. So this is not your future, and we won't focus on the present because you're not in a relationship now. But future, you are not willing to give up your personality?
No. If you're not here for me, then I've learned in this 1 year of being single, I have learned to love my personality, and I wouldn't exchange it for anything. So if I had to meet a guy and he tells me you're too loud, you're too what, then I'm just not for you. Because you can't be under a basket for so long. Yeah. So we saw a tweet this morning that actually pushed this conversation to say, in 2022, can we not lay down our academic or job success for a relationship? So we were like, would we? Both of us wouldn't academically.
And funny enough, it's not even something that was on the question. Like I feel like even if a man were to even dare, I don't think I've ever even met a guy who would dare
ask me to say,
ask me to say, oh, maybe you should.
You don't go and get your master's abroad. What's going to happen
crazy?
to us? Are you mad? Maybe if you're the one paying. But if you...
Yeah, so it was funny that was not even on the table. But it sparked the question you need to say, but what are you actually willing to give up? And we had this whole conversation. And so I have told you something that I gave up, and I did not like what I gave up before. And now in my current relationship, there's so many things that I have to give up, and I've had to die to myself. Is that the correct word? Dying to yourself, right? I've had to die to myself to make it better. And to be honest, most of the things are like that. They're like, okay, am I really willing to do this? Am I really willing to do that? And things like that. And oh my God, it's always so hard because you never really know what the right decision is. And one thing I feel like for me, which has made, I think I would say I haven't even changed about this because it's still like an issue. There are certain posts I put on my WhatsApp. So there are certain posts I put on my WhatsApp, and I can be a little naughty on my WhatsApp, you guys, no lie. I can be a little naughty, and I like take, screenshots, just random funny things I find, and I put them on my status. And sometimes he would feel some type of way about it, because like, but why would you say that?
Yeah.
Because most of the time there are those things which like a single person would say, or like dissing guys, those kinds of things are the things that you post. So obviously he feels a certain type of way about it. I'm like, chill, it's just a post.
You know what we have?
Yeah, I'm like, chill, it's just a post.
No, but like you say chill, it's just a post. What if it was him?
No, he once threw this at me. So here's the thing. There's one thing that I hate him posting. I hate him posting females. Like, listen, even if it's these viral videos that a female is dancing, I can't. So one time it was a blown up thing because he posted, they were dancing to some song, just these same viral videos. The girls were dancing to South African. They were dancing, and it was a whole thing, like it blew up. So then he's like, okay, fine, I'm not gonna post ladies and stuff like that, and we forget about it. So sometime later on, I post one of my shitty stuff. And then he's like, but you told me you don't want me to post that, and now you are. I'm like,
you see?
So yeah.
So are you willing to stop posting?
I mean, yes.
Okay, she has stopped.
I really have. I try my best. The thing is, it's not everything that I can. I'm not everything that I can stop. But I don't really know when someone will feel offended about it. Because sometimes I'm reading it from my lens where I'm just seeing the joke in it.
I would sacrifice sleep and dressing. Dressing actually would be a conversation we would need to have, because there are times I really dress really like short stuff, and you know what I mean, like, very hugging bums, So if someone had to tell me, no, I don't like how you dress, maybe, you can switch up dress code, you know what I mean? But not that you will want me to have a long thing, no. Allow me to switch it up and, act girlfriendy. And sleep. Like, those are the only two things I can sacrifice. You shot the question to me and said, how about going out? No.
When you talked about like the dress code, it really hit a nerve, and I kept on asking, like, why? Because it's the same thing I did in my previous relationship, and I would never give her. Like, at this point, I had thought to give up my dress code for even the corporate world. You know how in the corporate world they have certain rules about the length of clothes. Me, no, I don't do. I wear what I want to wear. I wear what is comfortable for me. If I want to show up in a badass mini skirt, I'll show up in a mini skirt. If I want to wear 8-inch stripper heels, I'll wear. Like, you are not going to tell me what to wear. So for me, that is such a big thing. Like, I would not be with someone who wants to control what I wear.
For me, I feel like it's not even about controlling. It's just that at the point I've reached, I'm not willing to give up other things. So the only two things, and it's only two, because I can't give up anything else, because I feel like I'll be giving up
too much
freedom. Yes.
So how do you feel about, and I asked you this before we had this conversation, how do you feel about lying to your partner that you have stopped or given up something that they ask you to give up, but in actual sense you haven't?
I don't like lying in relationships, because when you lie about one thing, you start lying about everything, and then now you cheat and you lie again. So I rather not lie, I rather just be honest, because that can create other problems. Because I believe in transparency and honesty, and you should respect that I'm being honest, that I'm not going to stop.
One thing that I do realize is that as a person who's asking another person to give up something, especially when it's out of their will, you need to remember that you are forcing that person to lie. So it's either they are going to lie to you that they have stopped doing it, or they will lie to themselves. Because at the end of the day, you are forcing them to become a person who they really aren't. And it's so unfair. So unfair. And then now let's switch this whole situation around. What are some of the things you would ask your man to give up?
His friends. Because I believe a man is shaped by the friends he is founded with. So if my man is found with drunkards, how are they going to help you? If my man is found with people who build, definitely my man's going to be a builder. Like, he's going to want to invest in property. If my man is found with people who invest in buying cars and like finer things in life, my man will be shaped by that. So I want my man to be surrounded by other men who shape him. Then dress code. Why dress code? I don't want to cringe when you say I'm coming.
Yeah. But what do you feel about ultimatums when there's a situation, a scenario where somebody needs their partner to give up on a behavior or a characteristic, whatever it may be, and they give you an ultimatum and say, if you're not going to stop content creating, you and I are done?
What exactly about my content creation do you hate? And someone once responded to me, it's embarrassing. And I think I paused a bit, not because the person asked me to, but because it killed my self-esteem. You know what I mean? Like, but if you want me to stop something, then you have to stop something else. But that's the thing about relationships. You don't ask someone to change or give up what is about them. We forget that it's those small things that, how she laughs. You liked how she laughs, why now would you stop? You liked the photos she took where her ass was like this, now why don't you like them? You know, you liked the fact that she was doing content creation and you're like, oh, it's so nice, it's so amazing, and then all of a sudden you don't. I feel like you need to accept your partner, everything about them. Don't try to change. I feel like this whole changing thing, unless you feel like it's something that will better your partner. Like, maybe example, stop hanging out with those friends because your friends seem like hoes. I'm not comfortable with my girlfriend or my wife or my fiance to hang out with people like of that caliber. I can understand.
I feel like most of the times when especially men ask women to give up certain things, it's usually
Ego.
Oh yes, wholly based on their ego or their selfishness, and which is like, it's absolutely such a big red flag, you guys. It's a huge red flag. But then we're not trying to discredit. We know there are a lot of women who also change men, but I feel like men do it as a control factor. They're trying to control who you are. They want to control what you do.
But the thing,
and all that
I get
stuff.
what you're saying. I like the point that you brought up to say there are women who like to change men. I have heard stories and I have seen stories and I have seen situations where a man just stops being a man because of his wife. So he turns his back against his family. And I feel like I joke about it because we are surrounded by brothers. I don't want to see my brother stop being him because the wife said you can't see your people anymore. You can't, you know what I mean? Because of also, us women also have an ego. Don't take away happiness from the person you love.
Yes, and that is one thing that I said even before. I think for me, I have come to the conclusion that I'm not going to give up things that make me happy before you existed.
Yeah.
Because even after you're gone, those little things will still remain to make me
Exactly.
happy. So it's unfair for you to take away that happiness, because basically you're trying to control me, you're trying to make me, you want you to be my happiness. Then when you're gone, then what?
Then what?
You know what I mean? So it's very unfair. We need to be able to have this balance and compromise, you guys. Compromise is a big thing.
Compromise.
Give and take. Have conversations. You can't just wake up one day and say, oh, stop doing this. Like, have a conversation. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have identified the things that you are not willing to give up because of a relationship in 2022. And make sure to drop them in a comment. Like, we want to know the things you will absolutely not give up. And make sure to look for her YouTube channel, The Corporate Babe, and subscribe to that channel, The Corporate Babe, you guys. So make sure to give us a thumbs up, subscribe, share our videos. Thank you so much.